How's it going, guys? We're going to be jumping into a pretty fun project today regarding our last video. I'm going to show you guys how to mess with sounds. For Forza Horizon 5, I recommend doing this on a legitimate copy. Just so you don't get in trouble, of course. If you do this on a legitimate copy and you get banned, I am not responsible. But we're going to jump into it. I'm going to show you guys how to make your own sounds, how to put different sounds on vehicles, how to put different turbo sounds on vehicles, backfires, burbles, different anti-lags, different turbo profiles such as induction noises, putting cams on cars to where it is actual cam instead of the exhaust, and you can have a different exhaust with a cam, so on and so forth. So we're going to jump right into it. Everything is going to be down in the description as well. Follow along, use your brains, and use your ears. Let's jump into it. So first things first is you're going to want to locate your Forza Horizon. I have two copies on my computer. One is for a patched version and one is for a old version, which I use for experimental purposes such as removing traffic, messing around with the map, props, stuff like that. So that'll be a whole nother video on how to do stuff like that. First, you're going to go into Horizon 5. You're going to go into your media, your audio, and this is where the magic starts to happen. Do not pay attention up here while I am doing this. I have a different pathway. If you are running the patch, the DLC patch, you can follow along with my path. Otherwise, it's pretty much basically the same thing. So for starters, all of your car sounds are going to be in module cars. Everything is going to be in alphabetical order. It goes all the way from here, all the way down to, I believe it is the Zenvo, if I'm hopefully saying that right. Anyways, this is going to be where all your car sounds are. So within this, you are going to open the XML and you will be greeted with a whole bunch of stuff. You have your engine, you have your exhaust, you have your intake, you have your interior left and your interior right. You also have your turbo profiles, which is, this one is a V8. You have your superchargers, your prochargers, your transmission. You're not going to be touching this. If you touch this, your car will break and you'll have no sounds on any single car. You have your burbles, your backfires, your anti-lag, your turbo BOV, and your centrifugal BOV. We're going to be covering literally every single one of these. I'm going to try to keep this in 15-minute range of a video, so bear with me, and let's get started. So obviously, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to obviously launch Horizon 5. I also want to note, you can do this all in real time. You do not have to close the game. The only time you have to close the game is going to be if you add a imported sound from another game, such as Horizon 3 or Horizon 4, which is possible. Cover that in another video. Also, I want to note I have 3 files here highlighted. This is a Chevy LQ9. This is a Chevy LS 525. And then down here is your Chevy SS. These are all swappable engines. The LQ9 and the one below it, I literally have no idea what they go to. The Chevy SS, I think I might know what that might be able to get swapped into. So we're going to be messing with these 3 engine sounds and trying to kind of like turn them around and make them a little bit better. So yeah, let's get into it, dude. All right, now first things first is we need to find a car that we can LS swap, which normally you can pretty much LS swap usually anything. We might go JDM. Also, a kind of cool thing that is with this patched version is the way that they did this is it tells you what engines these are, so it's a little bit easier. This one's the LS3. I think this is the one that we're going to be using. It's got a really shitty sound on it, to be honest, other than the cam. But that's going to get removed, and the cam's going to go on the physical cam itself. So let's dive in, and let's find the file. So remember how I said you can do this all in real time? We're going to go ahead and open this, and if I am not mistaken, this has the sound. Exactly. This has a sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, Control-C, Control-V, and we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to set this to a 1. We're going to go back in-game, and now the cams have a cam, how it should be. Second thing I want to get rid of is this atrocious backfire for now. So right now I'm going to just get rid of backfire, get rid of the transmission, get rid of the burbles, get rid of anti-lag, and turbo BOV. I don't need any of that stuff right now. Turbo profile, we can fix that here in a little bit. And in order to hear your new sound, you need to switch back from, stock to race. So we have no more backfire. That's actually a solid sound. We might keep that one. It's not terrible. All right, cool. All right, now within the audio, you're going to go to your engine synth, and this is where shit gets a little complicated and it can get a little confusing. This is going to have every single sound. If I were you, I would make a backup of this somewhere in case you screw something up. Always make a backup. If you don't make a backup and you screw something up, I'm not responsible, so don't come to me. Do it yourself. Be a big boy. So in here, this is going to look different than yours, I'm sure. Ignore all this. You're going to have everything from inline 4s, inline 6s, electric vehicles. You're going to have flat 6s. This has literally every engine sound you can ever imagine within the Forza Horizon 5 files. Thank you, guys, for letting us access these. It's really great. Okay, so what we're going to be looking for is we're going to be looking for an American V8, and we're going to start strong with, you know what? We're going to go right, let's see. There's so many. It's kind of crazy. We're going to go ahead and just grab this one right here. We're going to go Control C. We're going to go in here and change this to that, and then go back into the game. It's not bad. Again, this is a Chevy SS sound. Just get rid of the cam for just now so we can focus on this. It's not bad. This sound right here, that's a vanilla sound. That's the sound we don't want. So we want to get rid of the vanilla sound for something a little bit more aggressive. So we're going to skim through. I'm going to shut the recording off, skim through, and find a sound, and I'll be back. I would also like to note that some of the European sounds on here are kind of crazy. This is one of them. This is a European sound. But again, I'm just trying to show you that you can do all this live and you don't have to shut down the game. So I just found this in the files. And also, another thing I would also like to add is if you don't like the way your chop is, you can kind of mess with the synthetic RPM scaler. It can kind of mess your car up, but let's say, shits and giggles, drop it down to a 7. You can drop it down, but what you kind of miss out on is you have a lower top end RPM, so it kind of sucks. I kind of like the sound of this, so we're going to keep that. We're going to put the RPM scaler back to 9 on all of these. That's kind of crazy. I would also like to note that my sounds may be different from yours. If you're using vanilla sounds, you can still experiment with this, by the way, but this is kind of funner if you're using modded sounds like Revolution Sound Pack or like Skaz. Either of those, I would say try those out and mess with the sounds, or you can mess with vanilla sounds. You know, it's always fun to make your own sound pack. You know, like even on one car, for example, this, you know, a better Chevy LS mod. You know, something like that, which is kind of what I'm going for and what I might release tonight. So I think I got one exhaust down, and then I have to do the other exhaust. My game crashed, so we're going to go ahead and turn off our cam for now and focus on this race exhaust. All right, I think I found a good one, but it's still a little quiet, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is go into here and play a very dangerous game called How Loud Can I Make This Car Until It Explodes? So I used to have a template here telling me what does what, but what I normally like to do is just kind of bump the number up to a 2 pretty much for everything. Experiment with different numbers, stuff like that. It makes it louder. It puts all the tones around the right position. So now it made it louder and more pronounced. So, if we take this, and then we take this, it's a very low, it's a very quiet idle. I might change the idle back to this one. And then what I think we're going to do is do a idling turbo whistle. So that will go on our intake, and we'll do that right now. So now the way that I do that is I go back to my other version of Forza. I go to my audio engine synth, and I just type in Pro. Note, you will not have these unless you download a sound mod. A sound mod that has these, I don't remember what exact version it is. I think there's a version that still has the imported sounds. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our intake right here, and we're going to replace that with that. So now, get rid of the idle real quick so you can hear it. And now you see we don't have a turbo. So if we add a turbo into this, or even make it a pro, to make it a real pro charger, it sounds proper. I like the way that sounds. So now our Chevy SS engine swap it's almost done. It's almost done. We still have to do the induction noises for the turbos. In which for this, honestly, so you have from inline 4, inline 5, inline 6, I believe a V4 all the way up to a V12, and then all the way up to a W16. So say I use a W12, and we go back here. Let me turn the cams off so we can get a better sound of the induction noises for the turbos. Also turn this off real quick. They all have their own different induction noises per turbo. So if we go back and we switch this to like a W, or let's do like a inline 6. It gives it a different sound. You can faintly hear it, but we'll do the inline 6 instead of a V8. It sounds just a little bit better. Next, we're going to move on to our transmission sounds. I usually go with straight cut gears, which is probably what we're going to do. And I think there's backfire and burbles. We're not going to worry about burbles. So now, how do you get there? Well, you go into this section right here, and you go to modular car config. This is going to open a lot. This is going to have everything from burbles. This is all of your burble sound, and you're going to copy this first section of whatever you want to use. Backfires, gears internal, gears external, anti-lag, turbo BOVs, pro charger sounds, your transmission, which is what we need, and we're going to use our straight cut gears, your engine synth turbo, which is what I was talking about. You have your flat 12, flat 4, flat 6, inline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inline 8, R2, V2, V4, and so on. This is a modded one, the Super 2 JZ one. I think it's really, really loud. These are your supercharger sounds, and then that's pretty much it. So this is going to be our straight cut gears, and then we're not worrying about burbles, so we're going to leave that blank. Our backfires, what I normally like to use is, I usually go for like a popping sound, like a loud pop, which are usually the rally alt. All right, well, backfires are back, and we have everything set up now. So it's a very quiet one, but we got our backfires going. Sounds pretty decent. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to match up this exhaust to these. So what I want to do is this, paste it over, but I'm going to name it that. Oops, it's INR. And this would be the same thing, but left. That way it kind of fixes itself for the race interior sound. So we're going to finish upgrading this thing, and we're going to take it outside and take a listen. Oh, dude, this thing looks sick, and it sounds good. I made a Adam LZ kind of 180, 240, whatever you want to call it here. It's pretty damn close to his IRL one, obviously, minus the taillights that are clearly not the right ones for this car. It's very outdated. But, I think it sounds pretty good. I think it sounds good. We're going to rip it around the course real quick, and then we'll wrap up the video. Exterior sounds good. Interior sounds better. I would say this is a win. We're going to check out the other exhaust, too. This thing is rowdy as hell, dude. You can barely hear the cam, but it's there. I might get rid of that cam. Inside sounds good. Sounds way better than what it came from, man, honestly. All right, guys, well, that's gonna be it, dude. It was pretty straightforward, and it's really easy to do this stuff. You just gotta navigate through the files, copy the names, paste them where they need to go. Engines go with engines, exhaust goes with exhaust. Everything lines up. You just gotta make sure they go all in the right place. So, appreciate you guys watching this one. I hope it helps, and I honestly hope to see some videos on some custom sounds. That'd be sick. I'm out, you guys. Thank you, guys.